I'd like to look up who directed this episode and whether they directed any others, because I feel like there's like a wonderful sense of choreography in my battles here. It's still grim as fuck, but also kind of fluid and beautiful. I just want to give them all a hug.
Come on. Let's get you out of here. Come on.
And he is the old breed. A guy like that breaks.
I was just thinking the same thing, like when you see someone so battle-hardened. Break down.
You can't dwell on it, Jay.
I don't care anymore. Just as long as it's quick.
I feel like Sledge kind of needed somebody to care for. You know? I feel like he's been very inside his own head and dwelling and having a hard time, but maybe being able to show some care like that was helpful. Fuck. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Shoot him! Oh, that was undignified.
What the fuck is the matter with you? Why'd you take so long to shoot him?
Damn, Jay, if it ain't coming out your mouth, it's coming out your ass.
Look like you in a sack race, Jay.
I shit myself.
No kid.
What a whiplash of emotions.
Shit myself.
You left a trail, boy. They're gonna find us now.
He was like their main source of equilibrium and leadership, and slowly all the kind of old guard, the ones that they look to, are just being picked off. God, now they're really like displaced and despairing. I feel like whoever you are, seeing kind of people reduced to like decomposed meat must break you a little bit. Fuck. I was gonna say, was that him noting that S.N.A.F.U would probably go for those teeth? Or is it him going for it?
Thought I'd bag me some Jap gold.
You don't want to do that.
Why not? I saw you do it.
Don't. You shouldn't do it. Germs. Doc Caswell says all these dead nips have germs.
It's funny that
Germs. Bad germs.
S.N.A.F.U doesn't want
That'll make you sick.
him to do it. This is such a bullshit reason. He just doesn't want him to descend into the darkness that S.N.A.F.U's in. but without broaching that topic. I feel like he wants to take something from them because they've taken something from him. Metaphorically. It's really upsetting to see Sledge's kind of like the whittling down of his naivety and what he previously thought was grotesque and disturbing now was kind of appealing to him, but at the same time it's kind of necessary to go hand in hand with his increasing competence in battle. If he didn't descend into the darkness a little bit, then he couldn't be as good a fighter.
Keep it. Thanks.
We've not seen Basilione for a long time. I wonder whether we're going to go back to him. Peleliu!
What the hell are they doing here?
It's a sight for sore eyes, isn't it?
Good to see you.
Okay, Marine. You've had your look, see, now move along.
Wow, that expression said 1,000 things. It's paradise, but it's also fucking hell. It's a nice shot. Is that the end? Okay. So no more glimpse of Basilione. That was such a little teeny tidbit. So this episode was heavily focused on Sledge, which I always enjoy. I find him really compelling, which is interesting because he came in late comparatively. I think this episode had several amazing compilations of battle and terrible experiences. At the start with Sledge, we're seeing the systematic grinding down of his hope. And then also later with Basilione, oh god, that was such a good scene, the golf scene, and then just the quick cuts between the grass and Manny and battle and peace. I feel like in Band of Brothers, even though there was so many terrible things that happened, there's always some kind of method to the madness and sense that the leadership had things locked down because Winters was always around, mostly. But now here that was kind of represented by Haldane, I guess, and now we don't have Haldane anymore. I feel like it's terribly sad that Sledge and Haldane had that conversation about potential similarity between the two, in that they both have ancestors that have previously fought in battles, and that that connection is here to this day, potentially through the blankets that they have and certainly through their blood and shared experience. But that cycle has kind of been cut to an end by Haldane's death. I feel like that scene with Basilione is kind of meant to represent these memories and these experiences are forever going to be in his head. He's never going to be able to be present, these celebrations, or even in a kind of privileged situation that he's in, with being in this golf club and getting to have some leisure. It's still the thoughts, you can't escape the thoughts. You can escape the island and you can escape the battle, but you're always still in it. And his hands were like blooded with the effort of trying to chase away these thoughts. Haldane was there throughout this episode being a pleasant person, you know, telling them to rest and kind of entertaining them slightly and giving advice to Sledge of not to dwell on things that have happened. You know, advice that clearly Sledge took seriously because he passed on that advice later in the episode, and now he's not here anymore. My favourite scenes from the episode are between the Basilione golf scene and the conversation between SNAFU and Sledge about Sledge not going where SNAFU has been and not, you know, taking the knife to the Japanese person. I think I might have assumed things about SNAFU that he wouldn't really care about Sledge, you know, doing those acts, considering he does them himself. But he can see that Sledge is a different person and that doing that represents a change in Sledge that I guess SNAFU, as his friend, doesn't want to see take place. I must say I'm glad that he didn't. But the fact that he wanted to, does that negate that? I don't know. What do you think that the look that Sledge gave the guy when he told him, you know, you've had enough looking at the pretty ladies? What do you think that look means? Because he was so cold. I guess it basically means, fuck you. All I've seen is hate and death and ugliness and despair for the past, you know, weeks. Don't chastise me for looking at something beautiful for a moment. Could he even, you know, appreciate the beauty? I don't know. We saw several locations that we've seen in previous episodes in this episode. Like the beach at the end, I guess, is where he and Sid, you know, sat together. Where he asked Sid, you know, what is it like? And now he's returned to that place and he sure as shit knows what it's like. But at least, I guess he's got a moment to relax and try and take some joy where he can. Well, that was episode 7. We've got 8, 9 and 10 to go. And I'm just trying to imagine the things that I'm going to see. You know, I think probably the worst thing I've potentially seen so far is SNAFU, like, throwing the pebbles into the guy's head. Potentially. But I want to see Leckie now. Now, I feel like I've flipped now. I was at earlier this series, we saw so much of Leckie and I was like, where is Sledge? But now I want to know where Leckie is. And I want more of Basilione. I don't know where his story goes because currently it's kind of a strange stasis of kind of returning home and it not being the homecoming that he wants or that he needs. I don't imagine he'll come back, but I don't know. Well, that was a really good episode. I really enjoyed that, and I'm excited for the next one. I hope you enjoyed that reaction. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, because I upload really annoyingly irregularly. So please hit that bell, and hopefully you'll join me next time.